Hey guys, I'm Mercedes Morris, a student at the University of New Mexico. For my project, I'm going to go over how recycling at the SRCs can improve. So I'm going to go over first the problem and what even is the SRCs. So the SRCs is a student resident center apartments, which is basically on campus living. It's 12 buildings that provide residency for 425 individuals. And that sounds like a lot, right? So that many residents tends to bring a lot of trash. So in attempts to introduce new recycling, the community of association provided recycling and bins for inside and outside the apartments, but it wasn't enough to sustain that much trash and that many individuals. So we're just going to focus on how we are going to improve the attempt that the community association had made of recycling, but in specific to these apartments, because there are other campus apartments and other campus living, but it's our focus for this project is just this building because the overflowing trash is something that can't be ignored. As you can see in this slide, there's a lot of overfilled recycle and overfilled trash. The result of this is because students are trying to recycle, but because the recycling bins are so overfilled, like the one seen on the screen, they are forced to throw their recycled back into the trash, which creates this overfilled trash and overfilled recycle, and it's just not pretty to look at and not good for the environment as well. So, in order to get a better understanding of what the students who live in these apartments, what their needs and wants are for recycling, I took a poll. So, we're going to go through the results now. The first question I had asked on this poll was, do you think recycling can improve at the SRCs? And 93% of individuals agreed that recycling needs to improve in the SRCs. The next question I asked was, do you think there are enough recycling bins around the SRCs? And again, 93% said there were not enough recycling bins around the SRCs. I also asked if there were larger bins outside of the SRCs, would they recycle more? And 86% said they would. And then I asked again if there were larger recycling bins inside the SRCs, would you recycle more? And 93% said they did. So as you can see from the results that more students are willing to recycle, they just don't have the sustainability to do so or the materials to do so, which policy 5050 by the university states that the university must provide basic facility services such as custodial services, waste disposal, recycling, and building maintenance and repair through facilities management and PDC. So as you can see, the university is not completing this because students are complaining that there is not enough support or sustainable materials to recycle or even throw away their trash. As you can see in photos that they're overflowing each and every day. So what's the plan? The current situation, there are 3 bins for every 3 buildings, which is not convenient or sustainable for any student living in the SRCs. So my proposed situation, which is a new situation, is putting 3 new 32 gallons for each building. So it's not only sustainable, but it also is more convenient for each building and each person in a different building, which is ultimately safer too when students want to throw their trash away late at night. As well, I would like to have an addition of inside gallons. So currently there's an original 6 gallon bin, which is okay, but we also have to throw away our trash every other day. Where now a 13 gallon, we can maybe go a week without throwing our recycling, which can also limit the amount of recycling in the bin as well. Also, the main focus as well is maintenance. There needs to be more maintenance and added maintenance so we do not have overflowing trash. So if that's either adding more bins or having an additional day would also benefit this as well. So just more maintenance to where there is not as much overflowing trash and consistency with that. So next off, we're going to go over benefits. Currently, there's a lot of benefits that can come from recycling, but I'm going to list just a few that the university can benefit most from. So first off, our carbon footprint. Recycling can be the next steps that the university takes to limit our carbon footprint, as well as just increasing the health of our university as well as our campus. With no overflowing trash cans, more people will feel a need to come to our school, and it wouldn't look dirty or gross, and it would look just like a clean school that everybody would want to come to and learn, which also brings us to our policies. The university has policies made that need to be fulfilled, and by doing this, they'll be able to fulfill the policies that they made themselves, as well as students. Students will be able to learn important skills and why recycling is important. And ultimately, that habit of recycling can follow them to their next destination, whether that's across the world or states away. So now we're going to go to our cost. So currently, I've calculated that for 3 bins per every 12 building, that's $60 each for each 32-gallon bin, which will ultimately result in $2,160, as well as 72 small bins for each apartment or dorm. That is 72 small bins, but there is a pack of six 14-gallon small bins, which ultimately will result in a total of $720. So, what's our overall budget for this project? $3,000. Because together it would equal 280 $2,880, but just to include tax or any other charges, 3,000 would be a good baseline, but of course, more or less. In conclusion, the integrity of UNM's campus will be intact. As a result, more individuals will be open to go to school here just because our campus is cleaner and yeah. um, so that brings more money, which can finance future movements towards lowering the university's carbon footprint. So just by recycling and improving recycling in one area, we can take next steps to improve recycling in other areas. So just improving our campus as well as our carbon footprint just makes more benefits than there are cons. So thank you for listening.